So me and Dan are sitting here in the back of the Fortune Kit pickup truck, and we're joined by Matt Christman from Chapo's famous home-style trap house.
That's right. Family-friendly eats at low prices.
Yeah, family-friendly eats and family-friendly political takes that you can discuss around the Thanksgiving table with your folks.
Well, hell yes.
But we're here today to discuss, a little down-home artist called Buddy Brown. I don't know. I'm going to assume, Matt, that you're not familiar, but, I mean, maybe you've heard of him.
Nope. Never heard. Not for a second. Sounds made up. Sounds like a made-up guy, honestly. I think you guys are giving me the business again with a bunch of patented online japes and shenanigans.
I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, shockingly, his Wikipedia says he's 38, but you see his face, he looks like 22. He's just a pup.
Just a little puppy boy.
Little Buddy Brown.
But I guess he kind of made a small splash in the mainstream in the sense that he was played at Mike Pence rallies before the election. I don't know if that counts as being...
He racked up the cash with that. That's so much residuals.
Yeah. But what he really represents to me, though, is something that was inevitable but that I haven't seen before, which is connecting the conservative guy driving his truck and ranting at his phone with being like a country music artist, where his songs are all delivered on the back of the pickup truck. He's going to rant at you for 5 minutes before he plays the song. It's such a genius thing to combine those two cliches, and I don't think I've seen anyone do it until him.
Yeah, he's absolutely synthesized those two genres of guy.
It was only a matter of time till some genius figured out how to do that.
Oh, exactly. He's like, say what you will about him, but he's nothing short of genius because someone had to do it. But it's hard to decide where to start with him because he's got the rants and he's got the music. I guess we should just get right into a song. Maybe we should just start with one of his bigger hits here called Red Like Reagan.
Yeah. Red Like... I thought you'd like that, Matt.
Red Like Reagan. Good one. That was red meant communist when Reagan was alive.
Exactly.
Yes. Red didn't mean Republican
so good,
until
man.
the 2000 election of Jeff stupid fucking Greenfield. By that point, Ronald Reagan didn't even know his own name, let alone what colors meant things.
When I saw the title of that song, I was like, this is going to infuriate Matt.
I think every one of these
successful.
videos will.
It is. It's like he's trolling me personally.
He should have called the song Retconned Like Reagan.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, let's check it out then.
I can read your mind. We ain't about to get along, and I know why. You think we owe you when we don't. Yeah, there's a welfare line wrapping around Main Street. That money ought to
welfare.
help our boys
Got rid of
coming
welfare
back
in the 90s.
We're gonna paint this
The Chuck Norris picture in the fucking slideshow here.
Yeah, Clinton got rid of welfare in the 90s. Come on, man.
Yep. Gonna eat our bacon. That's good.
Yeah, the combination of the Chuck Norris photo and the bacon line, it's basically just like a Redditor thing right here.
This is so low effort that it is honestly offensive to me, not out of ideological reasons, just this is lazy. There's zero effort that goes into this. There isn't any, even any inspired mania or psychosis that you get out of a guy with a real political... This is just bumper stickers. He's just taking Cloyd Rivers tweets.
Yeah, compare this
and stitching them together into song.
You compare this to the Japanese nationalist from the 90s who would go on television and talk about dismantling the system and killing himself because there was nothing to live for, and just screaming until his voice was hoarse. And this seems pretty weak in comparison.
Well, honestly, this shit seems very passe. The people this is supposed to appeal to, they don't care about there's dang welfare cheats, and no, they think that pedophiles are going to eat their children's brain like fucking goddamn sliders. Well, that's much more viscerally impactful than this bullshit, and nobody gives a shit about Ronald Reagan anymore.
This is a song from 2015 or 2016, so it was really the beginning of the sort of Trump era.
Yeah.
So I think
that's already passe. Pizzagate already existed at that point.
he's moved, like in the years since he's moved towards something different that still isn't quite on that level, but it is more idiosyncratic than this. And we'll get to that.
Well, there's some sort of psychosis in mania. Like the thing that makes right-wing art interesting when it is like popular art like this, it's when you get a genuine personality and a specific point of view and all of the psychosis that goes with it. This is absolutely bargain basement. This is like soulless. And it sounds like soulless corporate country, so that's very fitting. I mean, my God, at least Toby Keith had like murder fantasies in his shit.
Yeah. This is designed to appeal.
There's no violence. There's no threat of violence. It's just, we're going to beat you in an election. Boof, wake me up.
It's designed to appeal to as many people as possible. Like, it is definitely like from a music standpoint, it's like a marketing project. He's trying to cast like the widest possible net, but I think he also represents this type of Republican that only lasted for like a brief period of time, like a mayfly that is born and dies in a day, and that's like the post Tea Party, pre like drooling Q-pilled section. You know,
these people were known in the very beginning of online Twitter when I was there, or political Twitter rather, teacots, top conservatives on Twitter, and this is absolutely the kind of song that a teacot would make.
And this is still more of that era, you know? Like, I think that in the years since he's kind of moved forward, but he's like he still has like one foot in like the Sarah Palin, like real American thing, and one foot hesitantly in the sort of like Trump insurrectionist thing. But I do think he is more idiosyncratic than that song makes it seem like, because when you watch his rants, it's impossible to tell half the time like which cliches he's going to roll up into a ball of cliches, I guess. Like, it's not always clear to me where he's headed, I guess.
Yeah. His baby toe is hovering over the fucking tooth-filled maw of modern conservatism, like populism.
But I think, Matt, since you were calling for some violence to make it interesting, I think this is another one of his songs from the same time period that maybe it's one of the best from like a few years ago, because it has a very interesting approach toward like vigilante justice, I guess. Let's check out If This Country Still Had Balls.
Strange man walks in holding his gun. He kills somebody and he's on the run. Out the door.
In media res.
That's good. Getting everything
streets.
right out the open. Billy shot a man while robbing his gas
town for an hour or two. Go back home, he's on the evening news. They tell us it's all right, we got him in custody.
This is shit wordsmithery.
Well, maybe it's
Very
me,
bad.
but I'm scratching my
Doesn't even
head,
rhyme.
wondering why that SOB ain't dead. When everyone knows it's him, why should we wait?
Oh, so he's calling for
This is where
summary
we get-
executions? Okay.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole point of the song, is we should just execute people on the spot.
The night somewhere along the way, we've gotten way too soft. We don't need a jury when we see what he's done. Just build the gallows and wait for.
See, this song's way more successful than the last one because the boring corporate like backdrop of like this shitty generic country song is so funny when like contrasted against the lyrics, man.
My tax money pays for nice hot meals for a killer locked up.
They love that. They don't get annoyed about that. The crime is lower. I mean, now it isn't anymore, but presumably when he wrote this thing, crime was at like a 30-year fucking low. Like, you're not even responding to real conditions. It's literally like Death Wish movies from 30 years ago.
He's putting the flashlight under his face and he's looking at himself in the mirror and he's scaring himself.
Yeah, he's scaring himself.
Prisoners shouldn't have meals, god damn it.
No food for them.
We don't need a jury when we see what he's done. Just build the gallows and wait for the sun. Get the vigilantes loaded up with justice for all.
This song's so fucking mournful too. It's so sad.
I wish that this country is so soft and weak. I'm gonna write a song about it. The most alpha thing you can do, play music. I'm sorry, Dan, but come on, let's be real here.
No, I'll take it.
It's a fruity profession.
This American hating namby-pamby songwriter's trying to lecture me about my country?
It's time we go back to hanging them high. Let's light the torches in the middle of the night somewhere along.
Light the torches in the middle of the night. Groove.
The only way to get anything political done is to write a song about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
that's,
why
that's creating hegemony.
Yes, which is why America left Vietnam in 1965.
Yep. Thanks to the classic Sweetwater Jamboree song, "Hey Man, that's a bummer." We all love that one.
Yeah. It was a very influential song in policy circles.
Yeah, they were playing it on Air Force One for LBJ. And steam would come out of his ears.
He's like, damn, what have I done?
Oh, if I lost Captain Freakout out in the Sweetwater Jamboree, then I lost Middle America.
I think now that we've kind of started going chronologically, maybe that's the way we'll continue. I think like these songs we've listened to so far, this is the stuff where he was still, if you go on his Wikipedia, this phase of his career is he was just a YouTube guy who his biggest claim to fame was that he played like a NASCAR. I don't know if they have halftime at NASCAR, whatever you call that, but
Halftime.
NASCAR halftime.
I just love the idea that they all just pull over so that some asshole could come out in the middle of the field and sing some songs.
But they're idling.
Yeah, the entire stadium's just filling with carbon monoxide. I know
it's all
outdoors.
played indoor at NFL arenas during the off season.
I can't wait for NASCAR halftime because that's when the visions come.
Yeah. There's like some oracle of NASCAR who just has their visions when the engines have just been idling for long enough.
Yeah, they tell you about like what year's like restrictor plate rules are going to be. I would like to see The Weeknd do his halftime show for NASCAR.
Yeah.
I was enjoying it. I enjoyed it a lot just because I imagine my family members watching it.
Yeah, well, what do you imagine their reaction was?
Mostly just sort of, I don't even think they probably even said much. They probably just watched it in sort of a sullen, confused silence.
I think that's a more impressive reaction to elicit during a Super Bowl than just like cheerleaders and shit.
Yeah, no,
Dancing,
it definitely alienated people. It was highly aggressive and like they didn't even have a single they didn't even have any special guests show up. It blew my mind. And the guy, it's like one dude who's some guy who can't even dance. It was amazing. But if they had 500 guys with facial injuries, it's like
Yeah.
it's like intentionally alienating. It's like, what do we do that will make people hate football, the Super Bowl, in their lives?
I mean, when you put it that way, I respect it.
Yeah.
He could have at least had the Red Hot Chili Peppers show up just to wave at him or something. You know?
Yeah, like we're not going to play any of our classic hits. We're just here to support The Weeknd.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't that all Daniel Lopatin?
Yeah, One O Tricks Point Never. I saw that on Twitter like today.
Yeah. Did Miley Cyrus play Rebel Girl by Bikini Kill at the Super Bowl too, or did I hallucinate?
She played like a side stage or something, yeah.
A side
She
stage,
seems like she's, I think there's a concert before the Super Bowl and she played there, which is baffling because she seems like a bigger star than that motherfucker. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I'm old. I don't know what the kids like these days. Apparently, he had the biggest song of the year last year.
Okay.
But I don't know what that is anymore. I don't know what the biggest songs are.
I don't mind Miley Cyrus, but I was kind of surprised to see her do Rebel Girl with a band of all like California dude bro session musicians.
Yeah.
Well, her new thing is she's a rock singer now.
Okay.
Because she did a cover of Heart of Glass and people were like, "Oh, I can ironically enjoy this." And so now she's doing rock.
Right.
And now that Phoebe Bridgers went on SNL, now rock's coming back.
Only if they do some fucking upper arm workouts, because that was fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
That was the most pathetic thing. I don't know if I thought it was the most pathetic thing I've seen until I saw that people were upset by it.
Yeah. That was
what
bad.
the hell is going on with these kids today? Like, Win Butler broke a guitar on SNL like less than 10 years ago, and he's like made
Oh,
entirely
yeah, I remember
of
that now. It was
soy.
like an acoustic guitar or something, yeah.
And now they got this lady who can't even break the guitar, and people are like, we need to have a frank discussion about acting out at the workplace. It's like, it does remind you, everybody thinks they're in an HR, like everybody thinks they work together, and that like everyone's the self-appointed HR director.
Yeah,
it's like, well, you tried to smash you lamely tried to smash your guitar on stage. That upset some people and made them feel like they weren't particularly safe. And we need to have a discussion about that, because we have an inclusive workplace here.
If I was a worker at the steel mill, I couldn't just come in and smash the steel. What would my boss think of that?
Yeah, exactly. Same goes for when you work at the rock and roll factory, you know? Safety first.
I feel like that would be maybe Buddy Brown's take is along those lines.
We got he's
an
soft.
everyman, but yeah.
Well, he'd probably
you
be
gotta
mad.
break it with some conviction, dadgummit, like my grandfather did working in the factory all those years.
Probably be mad at her for just being a pedophile. Yeah. I assume at this point that's what all of them think. They're just, if you're on television, you're a pedophile. Which, that's closer than assuming that nobody on television is a pedophile to being correct. I'll give them that.
It is.
Yeah, the truth is somewhere in between.
It is, but they always take the wrong turn towards the road marked like lizard people,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's just money. You have power and money. You get bored, and so you start eating and fucking children. It's pretty inexorable. You don't have to be a reptile.
Yeah.
Although it helps to be a reptile, I gotta say.
Well, because you can unhinge your jaw, and it makes it easier to get the kids in there.
Yeah. Yeah, at Comet Ping Pong, they've got a sign in the basement that says, you don't have to be a reptile to work here, but it helps.
All right, well, to get back on the Buddy Brown train here, we've got one more song before we get into like the current stuff. Let me see, what year is this one? Oh, this one's also 2016. It's called I Call BS on That.
Oh, yeah.
not even getting an actual swear in there. Pathetic.
Hey, y'all, this is Buddy Brown here. Got a new song for y'all tonight. You know what's amazing about being
we see him developing his persona here, though, because he's just bullshitting with you and me in the back of his truck,
Done. Get your songs out there.
Hanging out in a field like we like to do.
Exactly how you feel, unfiltered. And I think that's the reason everything is taken off the way it has. If this country still had balls, almost 4 million views now on Facebook.
On Facebook.
And I just want to go right back to the drawing board and write a song that kind of has that same grit. And come October 7th, hope you all make this number one on iTunes and everywhere you can find it.
So he had one big song and he's going back to his roots. That's of the song, the first song.
Wow, it's been such a ride. I got to get back to my roots.
It's like how Backstreet Boys' second single ever was Backstreet's Back.
I remember when that came out, and I was like, am I supposed to know who you motherfuckers are? I'm glad to know that was very early in their careers, and that I hadn't missed anything.
Allegiance to our flag, just be a vulture. Don't speak our language, just hold your hand out.
I think we already glossed over the very best line in this one.
Let's back it up.
I call BS on that. I think our country's been had.
Oh yeah, the very first couplet was, "We got veterans living on the streets, so why the hell do we need refugees?" He's not even gonna go after immigrants writ large. He's specifically angry at refugees.
Well, also, what the fuck do you want to do about veterans on the streets, you fucking scumbag?
Exactly.
What is your plan for that exactly?
Oh, Matt, he does have a plan for that. He's got a song called "When You See a Uniform, Stop." And it's
you know that they don't let you. You don't keep the uniforms. You dress in civilian clothing. Like, you wouldn't know those homeless people that he probably hates. He doesn't know which ones are veterans.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got a great line. It says, "These are the men and women who keep us living safe in our homes. And if you took 1 minute, your head would be spinning to see the things that they know." And I'm kind of like, yeah, probably if I threw a grenade into the house full of Afghanis, I would, and I knew about that, I would probably lose my fucking mind. Yeah.
Veterans are worthy of our sympathy only in the abstract, but I'm not going to do anything about it or prescribe any solutions to them being homeless.
It's only these poor veterans are only useful for me to cudgel against people that I have even less respect for.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're calling it progress in your neighborhood. But just hold fast, old US of A. 'Cause I've had nightmares of it fading away. I call BS on that. It's way past time to get mad. And old Chuck Norris came.
Oh, shut the fuck up about Chuck fucking Norris.
loves Chuck
He's an
Norris.
80-year-old man.
This is like 10 years after that was a meme, too.
Isn't there a new guy?
If you don't agree, they tell you too bad. Well, I call BS on that. BS on that.
Oh, he's jamming out right now.
I have definitely been at a party in Cowichan Lake with a dude like this doing the same thing on the back of the truck. It's very triggering for me.
October 7th, y'all.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy who breaks out his guitar at a party where no one wants to hear that. Like, mind if I play a couple tunes?
I fucking hate that guy. I was never that guy, and I
Oh, of course not. Most sensible people are not that guy. There's a time and a place for everything, you know. The guy who plays acoustic guitar at a party is dubious no matter what like cultural background you come from. But yeah, I think we've seen a little bit of progression among those songs though. Like Red Like Reagan is just the most cookie cutter bullshit you could imagine. And then at least like these last two are a little more like openly hateful and violent and spiteful, I guess.
yeah,
That guy needs to chill out, I think.
I agree.
What's he so mad for? He's got a truck. He's got a hat. You're doing all right. Settle down.
It's got a nice
That was
thick
actually-
flannel.
Yeah.
There was one episode where we talked about this guy for maybe 5 or 10 minutes on an episode a few months ago, and Alex had made a good point that was essentially like all of his politics are completely aesthetic, where he tries to do like the real American kind of thing, but he drives like what's essentially a luxury vehicle.
Yeah.
Like he's pretty fucking well off, and all of his politics ultimately boil down to like aesthetic consumer choices, which is a very like contemporary country thing, you know?
Oh yeah, that's the modern country is incredibly rich guys pretending to be blue collar, and then for the enjoyment of a bunch of guys who are similarly exurban rich dudes, and they get a nice circulation of the fake esteem for each other. It's valor theft.
Yeah,
Like these guys hate valor theft so much. They love. I'm sure all these guys love watching videos of valor thieves getting owned, and their entire model is based on stealing working class valor.
yep.
Like, not only do these guys not work, obviously they're musicians, but the people who listen, if they have jobs, they're way more likely to be ordering people around than to be taking orders from anybody.
Definitely.
Oh, of course, man. I listened to so many of his songs today, like with titles like, we need a redneck in the White House, and just shit like that. And I
They
listened to
got
so
him.
many.
We
I'm
got
like,
him. Donald Trump. We got
Yeah.
a redneck in the White
A
House. baby.
redhead in the White. We need a ginger in the White House.
No, well, hold on a minute. Let's not go crazy.
But listening to that kind of stuff, he does have a bunch of lines that are like, I worked 65 hours a week. And she's like, no, you fucking
Yeah.
didn't, man. You're a YouTube fucking persona.
We've talked about this on here before, but like I need to bring it up again. Is that like I've seen this kind of displacement of actual working class rednecks in action in my hometown on the island I grew up on. Basically, like once the lumber resource extraction industry shut down in the 90s, everybody fell into pretty deep economic depression. And then when the oil patch opened up in Alberta, they all went out there, made a little bit of money, but not everybody went. And then recently there's been a huge influx of guys like this, mainly from Alberta and the prairies, moving to the island and cosplaying redneck and listening to American country, which was never really a thing. And now it's totally flattened the entire culture. So domestic rednecks on Vancouver Island now aspire to be like this guy. Like they will, put themselves massively in debt to have a truck like that. and pretend to like country music. It's fucking weird and awful.
Any Canadian who fetishizes that kind of stuff, that is the most cuck shit on earth.
Absolutely. Yes. 100%.
All those Albertans who want to be annexed to the United States so that they could lose their health care.
Dan, we talked about this on a bonus episode once, but can we talk about the kind of album your dad wishes you would make?
Yeah. My dad wishes I would make a stripped down, like, acoustic guitar country album. Because that's what he hears.
That's what
he
people
hears
buy,
that on
right?
CBC. My hometown has hosted a huge country music festival a couple of years in a row in an attempt to kickstart its fucking flatlined economy, you know. And my dad wants me up there.
Hey, those people still buy records. I think
That's true.
It's a rich audience. Like they
Yeah,
have
exactly.
money
Your dad
and they're
has your best
rubes.
interests at
They're
heart.
waiting to get scammed,
Yeah, they want to go to.
and they love being pandered to. Is the thing.
Yes, they do. They want to go to the Great Canadian Superstore and buy that bonus track CD. You know, for $5 extra.
Exactly. Yeah, the exclusive, the Canadian Tire exclusive track. Only if you buy the CD at Canadian
That's
Tire.
right.
If you followed your dad's advice, you would sell like 400,000 copies all on CD, #1 in Canada. You'd be on all the CanCon fucking radio stations.
I fucked up.
You blew it.
You'd be a guest on Corner
I
Gas.
fucking blew it. I could have written a theme song for Heartland. God damn it.
You could be on tour with Mr. Wonderful.
I could.
You could have a song of yours be used for the Justin Trudeau re-election campaign.
I could have a song of mine used for the Justin Trudeau massive austerity announcement. The big I'm sorry.
You got to make sure he doesn't use one of your songs about how times are tough, but we still got each other. It's got to be one of your songs about stand up for country and for flag.
That's right. Island pride.
Yeah, you guys got to get that pipe going again. You got to reopen the pipe.
Turn the tap on.
There you go. You write a song called
there's
"Turn
a
on the
song,
Tap."
yeah.
Turn on the tap.
Mr. Biden, to turn on the tap.
Turn on the tap.
Let our oil make it down there. Do turn on the tap.
Let us build white Saudi Arabia together. Turn on the tap. Bracket laying pipe.
Yep. And you could sing it from like a stage at like Alberta's own version of Neom, the Saudi,
the city in the desert.
the Saudi desert,
The dream
computer
city.
city with the flying cars
Yes.
and the animatronic robots. You could be up there on stage like a fucking Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah, it goes all the way from Calgary to the Manitoba border, and the Calgary Stampede is now every day, all day.
Yes, yeah, nonstop stampede. Cars are replaced by mechanical bulls.
We've solved it.
Actually, Matt, now that you brought up Neom, it reminds me of something we've talked about on this show before. Have you heard of Akon City in Senegal?
Yes, it's going to be the city made of electricity or something, and using.
Yeah, they have all these incredible artist renderings. It's all going to run off of a cryptocurrency that's like Akon themed.
Yeah,
I
mean,
bucks.
I'm excited. I would go.
We're living in a new era of like these kind of weird utopias of just one rich guy decides, I'm going to make this incredible city where fucking there's peanut butter and jelly comes out of the tap and like everything's free and runs on cryptocurrency and I am the name of the city is named after me.
It's just late 19th century shit all over again. It's like,
Yeah, absolutely. It's Pullman Town. Yeah, it's Akon Town.
Fucking Fitzcarraldo in Calgary.
But I guess we could segue into the more contemporary Buddy Brown songs now. I think, what do you guys, or I don't know if you listened to this one, Dan, earlier, but Matt, what do you think his coronavirus song is going to be about exactly? Like, do you feel like you
my
can predict
first
it yet?
instinct is it's about how he doesn't want to wear a mask because that's the culture war flashpoint. That's the symbol of cuckoldry. That's the symbol of doing what they tell you to do. That's just off the top of my head.
That's what I would have expected too going into it, but I think this one's kind of a
What's going on, y'all?
curveball.
With all the craziness going on in the world right now, I figured we needed a coronavirus song. I know the virus itself is not funny, but the song sure as hell is.
You don't get to say that. Or you do not get to say that. It's your song.
Well, I ain't trying to scare you, and it ain't fake news. There's a really good chance that we're all pretty screwed.
Doesn't rhyme.
Communist China kicked us right
those
in the
communists.
teeth.
There we go.
With the virus from hell and no work for 6 weeks, we're on lockdown.
6 weeks.
Baby, and we're trying to get
Yeah, this was
out.
like right in March when he made this.
Crazy 'cause we can't leave the house.
That
I
sound
got
to edit him
friends
saying
full of
bad
beer,
shit is
my baby's
incredible.
drinking that wine. Been washing my hands about 24 times. It gets worse every day that I turn on the news. I'm thanking God that I canceled that cruise.
See, that's what's amazing to me though is the curveball is he actually takes it seriously.
Well, it all seemed harmless for a couple of days. Then it all got real when it got Tom Hanks.
That doesn't... Days and Hanks? This is worse than take the money and run.
Put us in quarantine. We're on lockdown, baby, and we're trying to get out. Going back crazy.
I'm glad that he's protecting me from the swears.
Yeah.
He's advertising the beer by putting the PBR picture on screen, but he's not going to say shit.
Somebody needs to edit the Snyder cut like that. Protect the children.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear Batman swear.
That's right. Not in this house.
I mean, my God, is there anything sacred anymore?
It's worse every day. I turn on my TV.
Cartoons are for children. Comic books are for children. Superheroes are for children.
Yeah, no swears. Also, I would like less violence.
I mean, Batman is a businessman and a billionaire. He can do more violence by being a pacifist and just exploiting people with his properties.
Exactly.
I had to. By the way, y'all, we had a brand new album come out literally yesterday, and I should be promoting
I didn't
that
laugh
brand
at
new
that, by the
album
way.
as
It was not that
debut
funny.
#2 in America. Please go get it. It's on every single
It's not
store.
funny at all.
We need a distraction.
No, it's
Stay alive
depressing.
out there. Stay safe. And don't sneeze on no one.
God,
But it's
just
very
so
funny to me that
hammered.
he surprises you by just taking it serious. Like, he's got to get in his digs at communist China and shit, but then otherwise he's just like, well, I'm not going on that cruise.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
divide
boy.
between him and the new generation. You know, who would be like, this is fake. This pandemic is fake.
Well, I mean, also, I think there actually was a relatively widespread acceptance of the initial lockdowns. It was only after it kept going with no actual policies put in place to make the lockdowns mean anything that it turned into culture war bullshit, and people decided that whether or not you were okay with the lockdown decided whether or not you were a cuck or a scumbag or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
good
minute
point.
there where people were willing to do it. They were willing to fucking do it. Even these crackers.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I don't think he's made another coronavirus song, so it's hard to know how he's updated.
I would
On
like
that.
an update. Yes, I would like to know what he's thinking.
Yeah, we
about
need
it.
one. Coronavirus song part 2. This one ain't so funny, folks. Scrap it.
Google 5G.
I think let's keep moving forward through 2020 though, because he's got a song from that summer called "Looters" at
Oh, hell
Jimmy's
yeah.
Hardware Store. The first verse of this one's really great, where he makes a lot of leaps to create a very belabored point here.
Truck Sessions.
All right, y'all,
Truck
you
session.
knew this song was
Truck
coming,
sessions.
and if I may be so bold, it might be a brand new favorite of mine. I'm really thinking about recording it. Song is
Jesus
called
Christ, you don't
Looters.
get to say that about your own songs. Who the fuck do you
Every
think you
time. This
are?
one's so funny, man. I love this.
What a smug prick.
Yeah, he was in Chicago.
I
when-
thought being humble was one of the key heartland values, and this
Nope.
dickhead's just like, I'll tell you right now, this might be the greatest song ever written. I mean, other than the other songs that I wrote.
So in that first verse, he started. This looter was in Chicago and his pants were sagging.
Of course, they hate
But
the
now
saggy
he's
pants.
at Jimmy's Hardware Store, which I guess we're to take it. Like, we're supposed to understand this in the country, maybe. I guess.
I guess.
So when a
Yeah.
brick came through his window pane, Jimmy grabbed a 2x4 and then he sang, it's time to get your ass kicked, son, your looting days are through. 'Cause I
Again,
done faced Al-Qaeda, it
super
won't be
mournful.
that tough
he faced Al Qaeda. When did that happen? When did the army face Al Qaeda? I don't really remember that.
Every day, man. Every day over there.
I mean, when they didn't get Bin Laden, and then when they got Bin Laden because the Pakistani military just handed him over.
I didn't get Bin Laden, so boy, you know I'm gonna get your ass to make up for it.
Yeah, the army never really fought Al Qaeda. I mean, part of that's because Al Qaeda wasn't really a thing and mostly made up.
Yeah.
You're doing like a Washington Post fact check of his songs.
I am.
I give that 3 Pinocchios.
There's so many Pinocchios in this fucker's music. It's nonstop Pinocchio fest.
I done faced Al Qaeda, it won't be that tough with you.
I love looting hardware stores during protests, by the way. It's my favorite thing. It's like, oh, good. I can get some caulk.
Yeah. You get some flux for your soldering iron, some nuts, some bolts.
Tried to call his friends, but no one would show up.
Cowards.
To this day, that hardware store's downtown and stays untouched.
Well, he's definitely not talking about downtown Chicago, so I think we are supposed to believe the looter went to the country or something.
The looter heard there was looting and got in his car and drove all the way to Denton, Texas.
Exactly.
And looked around and said, yeah, this is the place. Where's the hardware store? Let's do it.
Also, just from passively watching his hands play these songs, he does basically just G and D chords for everything and then just uses a capo to just play the same 2 chords all the time.
I was going to bring that up, yeah.
He has 0 guitar playing ability, and I don't even give a shit about technical ability at all, but he does not try at all.
No,
Man,
this is the lowest effort shit ever. It's embarrassing for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Including us for watching it.
No, I think it's good. I like it.
I would love if the big reveal was that Buddy Brown was actually like Budford Brown Pon Stoke and was a British man, just cosplaying an American, and he gets outed because someone films him out of character.
This song's about the lad Boris.
This here song's about sitting down to eat some dang eel pie with steak and kidney bangers and such. And spotted dick.
Buddy cut.
I think earlier I was saying how he's like 38 years old, but he looks like, I don't know, he looks pretty young to me, doesn't he? Maybe, but now the more I think about it, it makes perfect sense that he's like 38 because he has like these weird takes that are like, I don't know, he's not, like you were saying, Matt, he's not insane enough for the current generation.
Yeah, it's very pandering. It really does feel like a Cloyd Rivers thing. Like just a totally cynical exploitation of cultural signifiers. Yeah, you rubes love this slop, don't you?
I don't think Buddy's had a real job because I was looking at his Wikipedia and like I think he did 4 years of his psychology degree.
Yeah, he went to like Mississippi State, I think it was.
So there might be something to that, you know, that this guy is just a fucking Machiavellian, like just PR mastermind who was like put together a Frankenstein of what he thought the rubes would like, and they just ate it up, you know.
The guy it reminds me most of is Larry the Cable Guy. Just totally made up thing. He also loved congratulating himself on how funny his jokes were. That's funny right there. Same kind of thing. Just smug. That is even
funnier on stage for stand up. Just like, well, this is going to be a really funny one, folks. Strap in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like the idea that it's insane that nobody is doing this more profitably than him of just combining the like I'm driving my truck and complaining about things while also singing songs. Because like it's such an obvious idea, but to his credit, I hadn't seen anyone else do it.
Yeah.
But you would figure someone more like virulent and insane could be doing it.
Yeah, there's got to be a QAnon version of this, right? Like there will be. Like it will come into existence. There'll be somebody who sounds like Buddy Brown but dresses like Grimes and is talking about like David Icke, you know?
We can only hope.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's the kind of cultural content I would like to consume. Because
I would like a Q Billie Eilish. like claiming to be like Johnny Gosh's sister or something.
I guess we're kind of describing Baked Alaska's music, but it also just really sucks and is just cookie cutter shit with auto-tune.
I didn't realize Baked Alaska made music. Oh, well.
He loves
let's
our
listen
cops.
to one of those at the end of this episode.
He loves our cops
We
and
can
law
pull one up
enforcement.
after this stuff.
I wonder if that got him any credit when they arrested him. That he wrote that song.
It's just nerveless fingers trying to pull up his own YouTube video as he's being beaten with truncheons.
I guess continuing to move through 2020 with Buddy Brown, though, during like the last Trump stimulus check round, like the $600 check, he did this song called Stimulus Check.
This one's good. I love this one.
And Matt, what would you guess this one's going to be like, knowing what you know about his COVID song?
Well, it's interesting because you'd think that they would be hostile to handouts, but also it was Trump who did the handing out, who he presumably likes. So I don't know. Could go
What's
either
going
way.
on, y'all? This song's called Stimulus Check. I was saving it for maybe a January truck session, but I figure I'll bust
Truck
it out
session.
anyway.
Shut the fuck
Strong
up.
chance
Truck
of this
session.
happening on the new album. Because every redneck I know went out and did exactly this when they got that $1,200 in the mailbox. Here we go. Found a stimulus check in my mailbox. I stared at it for a minute or two. I could pay down some bills. I could fix my truck or patch up that hole in the
Doesn't rhyme.
But the next piece
Learn
of
how to
mail
do rhyming.
under that check was a Bass
Truck and
Pro
roof.
catalog.
He's got the Bass Pro catalog underneath the check.
Had
What is he going to
pictures of
do?
Rifles and big shotguns. I put it back in my pocket and I hit that road. Did they really think we'd spend it on the grocery store? Hell no. I can live on ravioli, man. I'm getting a brand new gun.
Okay. Oh, he's buying a gun with it.
I've
Okay.
been down, but I ain't been out. That grave ain't got
He had to go for
me
some
yet.
kind of cliche.
I'm gonna raise all kind of.
But I think he chose a pretty interesting direction. Also, it's funny that ravioli is the cheap food he's eating. That's like a more expensive pasta among pastas, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Even of the canned variety, like SpaghettiOs are cheaper than Chef Boyardee's.
yeah, of
like,
course.
Come on, man.
Monster than 2 cans of wintergreen skull. With cash in my pocket.
You gotta have at least like 5
holding my
brand names
wallet,
in any
and a
country
big
song these
smile
days.
on my face. My roof, my leak, my truck, my
I just keep thinking of the Simpsons episode where Bart and Milhouse find $20.
Exactly.
On the sugar bender, he's been.
We bought some squishies.
I can live on ravioli, man. I'm getting a brand new gun. I've been down, but I ain't been out. That grave ain't got me yet. I'm gonna raise all kind of hell with my stimulus check.
Wait a minute. Is he saying he's going to go on like a mass shooting? What does he mean he's going to raise hell with the gun? Or is
I
he just
think the
going to
good-
fondle it?
Like a good old boy, just shooting his gun in the air and drinking some beers and chewing some
There's
skulls.
still extra money. I'll put cold beer back in the fridge. Did they really think we'd spend it?
Why? I don't know. See, was that the assumption? That it was, oh, we better get this in. Like, food is a non-elastic need. Like, that people, even if they don't have money, they're going to buy food. It was to stimulate other domestic spending. Like, gun? Sure, whatever. Does he think he's owning the libs by buying a gun instead of going and buying, like, food? I don't understand. Even his dumb
right there. Hope y'all are doing good.
pandering grievance is
God bless
confusing.
you. I think I'm gonna have to put that one on there.
Exactly. Like,
Merry
see, this is
Christmas.
why I think he's more interesting than your initial assessment, because at the end of the day, he is like a normal American who has a completely incoherent view of the world, where his idea of what's conservative and what's the point of the stimulus check and shit, it's all completely fucking incoherent. And like, he draws on all these conservative cliches, but I don't think he has any idea what he actually thinks about the world.
No.
No, he just
Not at
wants.
all.
He knows what what the type of people he is selling himself to think, and so he tries to approximate that.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of random consumer signifiers.
He's
Mentioning that can of Skull he was buying at the store.
a fucking pod person. basically. He's trying to become a very specific type of human and get them to accept him.
Yeah, actually, now that you put it that way, it's like the ravioli line where he thinks that's like the cheapest pasta. It's almost like George H.W. Bush not knowing the price of a gallon of milk, or like the Bluths, like, like
how much could a banana cost?
Exactly. Like that's like his equivalent of
How do we know Buddy Brown is like a human man, you know? Buddy Brown could be like a kind of man who fell to earth type scenario, you know?
I like to think that he's actually David Brooks. He's going to start singing about the Applebee salad bar soon.
I have a theory now that maybe he's a non-pedophile lizard person sent here to warn us about the pedophile lizard people, but he's slow playing it.
And then he'll eventually reveal himself.
He's just ramping up.
The problem is that the rest of the movement ramped up way quicker than him. I think by going chronologically with the videos we selected here, we haven't really gotten enough of his ranting. So even though we're like approaching the end, it's time to finally get into his rants. And this one's about the Capitol riots. And you can see the title of the video, Storming the Capitol. Bad idea.
Bad idea.
But I think this is one of his masterpieces because he really goes through so many disconnected thoughts in 5 minutes that, like, I don't know, this is the structure of this is more interesting than any of his songs. Like, if his songs were structured like this, then they would be genius, you know? Like, but I think we just got to get into it and see.
All right, y'all, so I'm going to come at you like a ton of bricks this morning. It's cold as hell right now, so I'm going to talk fast. I got to get something off my mind.
There's no air. There's no breath. You can't see his breath. It's not that cold.
Latest album. It's going to be the best album I've ever.
He's just talking about how great his album is. Jesus Christ.
6 hours driving back from there to Jackson to think about this. And I'm going to start like this, as far as what we got going on right now. Do you know how you make a tornado? Because I had to look it up.
You don't make a tornado, sir. God does.
Yes.
About the worst thing that can ever happen to any town, any village, any house, anywhere is a tornado.
Or smart bombs.
Right?
It's the worst thing that can happen to a house is a tornado.
It's 100%. That's science.
Tell that to the people of like Nagasaki.
And they collide, and what they make is
that from the movie Twister?
Thing imagined, okay? So my question is,
DMCA
where are all the
his
moderates?
Where are the moderates?
This country and the media,
didn't he write a song about doing vigilante murder instead of a justice system?
Build the gallows.
That's the moderate position? I don't know if that counts as a moderate position.
Anymore. The moderates are dead. You have to be extreme over here one way.
You said murder people.
But the consequence
you
is
said
when you
do
tell
fucking
one side
lynchings instead of having a justice system.
For years and years and years. And that they are entitled to unlimited anger and unlimited destruction. But you tell the other side that if they even so much as breathe in the wrong direction, that they are vilified to no end. They're all these ist words, right? If you even take a single issue with it. They gave us a third world election, and they're surprised now that they get a third world reaction.
What?
You think about that. All the media, what's actually happening is not really happening. It's just lies. And we're the ones at fault because we've given them this power to come into our homes and talk to us and tell us what's actually going on when it's actually crap. You know, it's not even shameful in Washington, D.C. anymore to lie. Or to get caught in a lie.
That's a new development.
The August tradition of truthfulness in government has been sullied.
Yes.
It's illegal. But when a government elected official lies, it's just politics. You see the difference there? So I decided to come on here. I didn't want to condone this or attack that. I'm not trying to solve any problems because Lord knows it can't be solved. Okay, but we have given the media way too much power over our lives and what we think. But this story is not new. This story is not new. I was reading in Matthew chapter 2. King Herod had heard that there is a man named Jesus, okay? That he was going to be the Son of God. That he was going to be born.
That absolutely is not what happened. They did not say there's a guy named Jesus who's going to show up.
I mean, I've heard this story a million times. It still shocks me. He ordered that every single
if he knew his name was Jesus, he could have just gone killed the ones named Jesus instead of the firstborn.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Guards coming to your door. How old's your son? He's 1. Kill him. That's how he handled business because it was a threat to the
I handle
power.
my business
So now
like
you
King
got all this
Herod.
censorship going on, and you have big tech companies who have deemed themselves lords of the information, and they have deemed themselves they're going to be the deliverers of what you get to see, how you get to say what you want to say, how you get to hear what you want to hear, how you get to feel what you're going to feel.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Because they
Private
think they
companies
can
could
do
do
it
that.
better
Maybe
than
they
you
shouldn't
can.
have that power.
Then I can. I
Exactly.
believe it was George Martin that said, when you cut out a man's tongue, okay, you are not proving him a liar, but you're telling the world that you fear what he might
He's just
say.
quoting.
At
He's
the end of the
quoting
day, y'all, I'm not
Gambo
looking
right
forward
now.
to the Harris-Biden ticket any more than anybody else is, and I'm not looking forward to January 20th any more than a prostate exam. But you know what? It's bend over time, ain't it? And we're all gonna have to go through this together. Last thing I want to say to y'all is 80% of everybody on this channel is not subscribed. We're telling you the truth, man. Guys like me, guys like y'all.
Just
girls
goes
like
out
y'all.
there. Go look, guys. This whole
somebody's gotta
thing.
be able
It's
to say all this
it's
stuff.
not
Really
good.
would
You got
appreciate
the
y'all
stuff
taking just
with
a
the
second.
government
Hit
and
that subscribe
also the
button, making
media
sure that
as
you're
well.
there.
And
We're
then
gonna
there's
walk through
big
this
tech
together
over here, and they're all doing it.
2021,
And you
and
know it.
22,
You know how it is
23,
when they do it
24,
like that
however
to
long
us,
this
like
takes.
King Herod did.
Because
It's the
somebody's
same
gotta stay
thing, and I just want to
unbrainwashed.
make sure that
God bless
everybody's
y'all.
subscribed.
Be good.
Yeah, we need this content.
Yeah, like
If we don't
so
have this
good.
content, how are you
80% of
not going to
y'all-
understand the world?
You know, when King Herod came door to door and did all that stuff, if 80% of them weren't subscribed to the right places, they wouldn't have known it was coming. It's great though. Like that video is, I think, a masterpiece of his because it begins with him self-aggrandizing and then it ends with, "Hey, what's up? Like and
Just,
subscribe."
like, begging.
And in between, it's just completely incoherent.
And in the middle,
it's so good.
in
man.
the middle of it, he basically says there's nothing we can do about any of this. It's just
Yep.
like the politics of just like absolute submission.
Guess the only thing for you to do is just, I don't know, maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel and listen to my songs and perhaps buy my record albums and then just listen to them. And that'll do it. That's as much as you can. I appreciate at least the honesty there as opposed to a lot of people who kind of fraudulently present themselves as representing an alternative. He's very flatly telling you, yeah, no, there's nothing you can do except just get mad, and listen to me talking, and then also singing, and then maybe buy a shirt or something.
And then just mash the button. Just go ahead and mash the button.
You
Did
gotta
you know
smash
that
that
in
button.
recent years, it's okay to lie in Washington?
They just legalized lying in Washington. Can you believe that? While we were all at the 4th of July, they done legalized lying in the District of Columbia. You can go in there and lie now and not go to jail, unlike everywhere else in the country.
But see, that's why we need vigilante justice, so we can just murder politicians on sight,
Yeah.
and then it won't matter that they legalize lying.
That is the moderate position, yes.
You need to put together a kill squad that just goes around with binoculars looking for politicians with their fingers crossed behind their back, and then it's just a headshot.
You been fibbing, sir? May could you please remove your pants? I need to see the temperature of your underwear, if they are in fact on fire or not. If there's even smoke, sir, I am authorized to compromise you to a permanent end.
Yeah, it's like a BAC for pants temperature, where there's an ordinary pants temperature that we all know and love and appreciate day by day. But if I
Yeah.
see about 5 degrees above that, I am going to summarily execute him. Yeah, I think he's on, I don't know, man. It's an interesting trajectory he's on because you can't really, I feel like anyway, you can't really predict where he's going from one issue to the next. But it's always going to end with some kind of like self-aggrandizement or whatever. At the end of the day, he's just a YouTube personality.
He is about that. I'm about that bag. You see, that's my thing.
Yeah,
My number
exactly.
one concern is securing the bag. That's what I'm all about. I just want to make sure that bag is good and snug in the back of my truck. Rest of that, y'all
Now,
can
my
figure out.
grandpappy would secure the bag at the steel mill, and I'm putting in 65 hours a week just like he was, but these Democrats don't want me to get the bag.
They're stopping my bag. They're telling me that they're going to take my bag and give my bag to some refugees.
They
who doesn't
fibbed.
do
They
none
told
of
me I
them
could
singing.
have the bag. They fibbed on
not
me.
Not one of them wrote a song, and they're going to get my bag.
I think that refugees' bag should be going to the veteran. Anyway, like and subscribe, pay me. Make sure you get the T-shirt and the album. Oh, yeah, actually, before we close out here, Dan, did you want to hear a Baked Alaska song if you haven't been
Sure, man.
exposed to
Sure.
his oeuvre?
Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, we should take a little detour here. This dovetails with the other stuff because this is like 2020. It's called CAG. Keep America Great.
CAG. Like, wow. Okay. Cool. CAG. I hate this already.
I think it's good. It's the CAGA anthem.
Production value is already through the roof compared to Buddy Brown.
No, it's true. The Bake's got a little bit of value add to his productions. That's probably FBI money, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Since he is 100% a Fed.
Absolutely.
Love this detailing.
I just really want one thing, and that's to keep America great. I just really want one thing, and that's to keep America great. I just really want one thing, and that's to keep America great. Keep America so great. Everywhere I go, I say we gotta keep America great. Even though we know they're gonna hate. I'm feeling like I need a Trump steak. I'm feeling like it's Planet of the Apes. Everyone is lost and flipping mine. Oh.
It's cool to like
He's still doing the Trump
reclaim
steak
Trump
thing.
steaks as a good thing.
Because he talked about the Trump state in the Make America Great song, which he did it for 2016.
Oh, it's a
All I
callback.
want is a Trump
callback.
steak on my plate. No flipping way,
No
okay?
flipping way. Well, at least he's not
No
cursing.
flipping way.
I just really want one thing, and that's to keep America great. I just really want one thing, and that's to keep
I
America
feel like Baked Alaska didn't put a lot of personal effort into this, but his creative team put a lot of effort into
Yeah,
it.
his CIA handlers did a great job here.
Yeah. They constructed this video in a sub basement in Langley.
I just really want one thing, and that's to keep America great.
Oh, finally the guns
I
come.
really want one thing, and that's to keep America great. I just really want one.
I like that he was cosplaying, like holding two shotguns and shooting them each with a single hand, like 2 feet away from his body. Like it's not even good fucking form, you know?
We gotta keep America great. Looking down the face of evil, and we're keeping it great. We love our cops, our law enforcement.
There it is.
Okay.
That's a throwback to his best song, "We Love Our Cops."
Right.
Keep America great.
This is thin soup. I mean, it's not surprising Trump lost.
Yeah, they really lost. Their hearts weren't in it for the re-election because they
Yeah.
got what they wanted, and it wasn't anything, and they kind of had to wind themselves up to try to convince themselves that no, we were still winning, but it seemed like everyone just kind of wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, the Buddy Browns are going to win, kind of, because he's not a never Trumper, but he's not like a Keep America Great guy. He never even said Trump's name in any of the stuff we listen to. I guess as an entertainer anyway, he's always going to be able to just tap into some amount of people who want these platitudes served up to them. Whereas Baked Alaska's thing is already like a flash in the pan that's already pretty much done for with this song.
He's like David Frum. Like Buddy Brown is not unlike David Frum in that he is the Janus face of grifter and ideologue, and one of them might not be true at any given time. So he's just going to be able to ride this wave, unless the crazy faction completely takes over, and then Buddy Brown will be yesterday's news.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like obviously those two things are going to continue to coexist for the rest of our lives, I guess. But I think there's probably a larger Buddy Brown audience for just dumb schlock like that.
Yeah.
Rather than tying your horse to Trump in particular. The Buddy Brown thing is a more consistent and I guess mainstream thing.
It's comforting.
I mean,
it's a lot
it
more
depends
comforting.
though. But where is the mainstream going on the right anyway? I mean, who knows? He might have to become like a Biden guy by the end of the term, depending on how crazy shit gets.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
Unless he wants to fully like get over that idea of like, well, I guess we're just gonna have a beer and watch some of my YouTube stream. If he's gonna have to channel some anger and some rage and some mania if he wants to get on anybody's radar, or then he'll have to do. And honestly, I could see him doing it because he seems totally soulless. Just do a total flip and become like I'm the singing progressive. I'm the country. I'm the liberal country band. I'll tell you right now. You guys say the guns. You think you need guns, but boy, you don't. You out here, you go hunting, but you don't need no AR-15.
Yeah,
I could see him doing that.
Fishing pole.
Yeah. Oh man, that would actually be the smart money for him for sure.
That's why I brought up.
There's way more
That's
money.
why I brought
in
up
that,
the From thing is because From's being embraced by fucking liberals in Canada now, and it's seamless. It's so. They want him so bad. It's so seamless how he's attached himself like a fucking remora to like the center, you know. But yeah, it would be. I don't know. I would love to see Buddy Brown do like a pivot and do like a Biden era song.
Yeah, he could. He could be the musical guest at a Lincoln Project event.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
With vigilante murder of guilty until innocent until proven guilty suspects. Don't forget that part.
Yeah, of course. But I guess that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Of like, that's always been in the Republican DNA for the last 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's the thing is that
the conspiratorial shit just ebbs and flows, but it's always part of the same thing.
Yeah. There's really no difference between any of these psychos other than affect, and it really does come down to willingness to be cringely psychotic and to be a true believer. It's because
I guess that's sort of to clarify my own thoughts, like. The Baked Alaska thing is kind of finished because it's all CAG, It's like, let's keep America great with Trump. Whereas the Buddy Brown thing is like, maybe vigilante justice is good in general, right? Like he uses such generalizations that it's like this more tried and true, like conservative thing that'll always resonate. Whereas the Trump thing will fall out of fashion, but there's just a different insane thing that will always metastasize and take its place.
Yeah, no, everything gets swallowed by a crazier. Someone's always going to outbid you more than anything, just for audience, for vote, for a share of attention, and like you have to get louder and louder to be heard. And I think that Buddy Brown's going to have to either pivot or just like start taking like violently huge doses of like ketamine or something, and start watching David Icke documentaries just to brainwash himself.
Buddy Brown trip report.
Yes.
Cool, Matt. Thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for showing me this great guy whose music I'm going to check out now.
Make sure to subscribe.
I will be. I'm going to be subscribing. I cannot wait to subscribe.
I hope you got some pointers for your own videos. Like
wide angle lens. You got to use the biggest
rent a
angle
truck
lens
so that I can and sit in the back of a truck like an asshole.
Veterans living on the streets. So why the hell do we need refugees? They say, come on in.